going on here. They think it's all about Diddy, but it's bigger than him. And y'all know Prince got a certain type. So if Diddy thought he was gonna put hands on Cassie at Prince's party, he had another thing coming. Cause Cassie what he wanted. Every chick he ever dealt with looked just like Cassie. And that's why Prince allegedly put both hands on Diddy at the party. They talking about it during the trial. People still confused about what this is all about, but I'm about to inform y'all. Prince's security had to separate Combs from Cassie Ventura after he attacked her at a party. This is what Diddy's ex-employee saying. She's saying a whole bunch of stuff. She all over the place with this. She had to turn up the heat in order to get people back interested in the trial because everybody wondering where's the incriminating stuff. So they gassed her up. She talking about parties from the 80s, from the 90s. We about to get into all of that. But before we do that, y'all need to do me a favor. Hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification button too. I ain't got nothing but love for y'all. Without further ado, let's get back into this video, man.
Well, some more testimony today focusing on Diddy's alleged violent streak and how Prince's security details stopped an alleged attack on Cassie.
TMZ executive producer Charles Adeboutier joins us now with the very latest. Charles, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you for having me, Natasha and Bianca.
Okay, so another explosive day of testimony. Tell us about what went down in court today.
Yeah, this testimony today was from a woman who was testifying as under the name Mia. The judge said this is a pseudonym and that no one was to record her. She was, they wanted to keep her anonymity. It was the deal with the prosecution. But she was talking about, she is a former assistant of Diddy's, and
we can't even validify this chick, yo. We don't know if she a real person or not. She came up there and gave this bizarre testimony using a fake name. Everybody else that came up there used their names. And I remember earlier in the trial, they was telling people you're not going to be able to testify unless you use your real name. And that's why a lot of people backed out. But since the trial's so whack and they ain't have nothing incriminating, they got this woman up here dropping celebrity names. Now you got Prince all in it. She going on and on under a pseudonym, y'all. Look at it.
Talked about a 2010 incident, talking about she is a former assistant of Diddy's, and talked about a 2010 incident where Diddy and Cassie found out that Prince was having this private house party. Diddy didn't want to go. He was staying home and said that Cassie should not go. But Cassie was at home with Mia, and they talked about it and decided they were going to go. So they went to the party. She says they were having a great time watching Prince perform on a dining room table. And then suddenly she saw Diddy walk in and was terrified. And she grabbed Cassie and she said they ran out of the party. They ran across the street. They are hiding in a wooded area behind some bushes. But Diddy found them and grabbed Cassie. She said,
"Man, get the fuck out of here, yo. I done heard it all with this trial. They went hid this nigga Jason Voorhees. They went hid in the woods. And next thing you know, all you hear is Diddy crunching through them leaves. And he snatched up Cassie and started beating her ass while Prince was dancing on the dining room table. The first person said that Diddy bumped into Cassie at the party, didn't know she was there. Now this person, oh my God, I'm gonna shut up about it. I'm gonna let them go ahead and say what they gotta say.
They were gonna go. So they went to the party. She says they were having a great time watching Prince perform on a dining room table. And then suddenly she saw Diddy walk in and was terrified. And she grabbed Cassie and she said they ran out of the party. They ran across the street. They are hiding in a wooded area behind some bushes. But Diddy found them and grabbed Cassie, she said, and started to assault her when suddenly one of Prince's security guards ran over there and had to pull Diddy off of Cassie, separate them, and that was the end of the violence for that particular evening.
Hold on, wait, now they got me looking stupid. They said that Prince, the one that put hands on Cassie. And I done made the thumbnail, I done did the video. They putting out falsified information. Got my channel not looking credible. Got me looking like a clickbaiter. They need to get their shit together, man, because they keep on switching up these stories every day, and the public just supposed to eat this stuff. Now, y'all heard what he said. Now, let's see if what he said add up to what they saying in the news. Just before court took a break, the former assistant testifying in Sean Diddy Combs' sex trafficking trial recounted an incident. Hold on, yo. Yo, hello. Who this is, man?
Yo, what you on this bitch lying for, brother?
Oh, okay. What we doing over here? What we doing for? What's going on tonight? Yeah, Reg, take care of that immediately. Yeah, go ahead, take care of that. What was I saying? Okay, just before court took a break, the former assistant testifying in Sean Diddy Combs' sex trafficking trial recounted an incident at a 2010 party hosted by Prince in which the music legend's security had to intervene when Combs attacked Cassie Ventura. The ex-employee, who was testifying under the pseudonym Mia, said it was the night after an award show. Ventura and another friend previously testified this was around the Emmy Awards that year. Combs told Maya to stay. Something about that Emmy Awards make people want to whoop people's ass. Combs told Maya to stay with Ventura at a hotel to keep her company. Maya testified as the music mogul had told Ventura he would be with his kid. See, that's already a different story. The testimony say one thing, the news say another thing. A friend called and told Mia and Ventura about the party at Prince's house. Cass and I debated like little kids if we should sneak out of the house for probably what we felt like forever, Mia said. Y'all need to grow the fuck up. Some grown-ass women. See, that's when they should have just adjourned the court right there, because he got some dodo birds in his circle. Some airhead, chicken head, coke head, dope head, freak bitches that ain't got no purpose in no courtroom talking about nothing. You play silly games, you get silly prizes. Hoes get done dirty every day. Ain't that the whole point of being a hoe? To be used and abused? What part am I missing here? How was Diddy the criminal when he doing what any sane man would do, dealing with people with these low-ass IQs, and he trying to run a multi-million-dollar business? And I ain't saying what he did was right, but goddamn it, I'm broke and I still be wanting to kick somebody's ass. More money, more problems. Look, she said Cass and I debated like little kids if we should sneak out of the house for probably what felt like forever. She said this in court. They ultimately went to the party. They was naughty and they was misbehaving. And we were having fun dancing and watching Prince perform, she testified. Then Combs arrived. Maya recalled seeing his bucket hat and the two locking eyes. He came in there like a goon. Mia and Ventura took off running out of the house, but Puff caught Cass, the former assistant, testified using another nickname for Combs. He called her. What they talking about? Prince was dancing on the dining room table. They just making up shit as they go along, man. Where the part where they was hiding in the bushes? And Diddy, they ran across the street in the wooded area and was hiding in the bushes, and Diddy sniffed their asses out like a dog. And one of the Prince security guards came over there and broke it up. Like, get off of her, get off of her. When the police showed up, they was like, get your hands off that woman. And Prince security guard was like, I'm a man. I would have threw that in there since they making up shit. Let me come up there and tell my side, because I'll throw a whole bunch of shit in there. Mia and Ventura took off running out of the house, but Puff caught Cass, the former assistant, testified using another nickname for Combs. He caught up to her and had her on the ground. He started attacking her, but Prince's security swiftly intervened. Maya left and spent the night at a different hotel, she testified. Whatever. So let's hear this one more time. Since y'all see what they talking about, look at
a
this.
2010 incident where Diddy and Cassie found out that Prince was having this private house party. Diddy didn't want to go. He was staying home and said that Cassie should not go. But Cassie was at home with Mia, and they talked about it and decided they were going to go. So they went to the party. She says they were having a great time watching Prince perform on a dining room table. And then suddenly she saw Diddy walk in and was terrified, and she grabbed Cassie and she said they ran out of the party. They ran across the street. They are hiding in a wooded area behind some.
Yo, he did not want Prince with Cassie. Because he knew all it took was one look and he would have Apollonia'd her ass. Her non-talented ass would have been the next Vanity. Rest in peace. She would have been added to his long roster of Cassie lookalikes. He even had shit. He was even with Sheila E, y'all. And Cassie was looking to get got. She was looking to freak off with Prince. That would have been the story of her life. She would have put it in her diary and eventually put it in her memoir. He had some bad bitches, didn't he? Every chick he ever dealt with had that look. But that's Negro here, no there. Okay, let's get back into this.
Some bushes, but Diddy found them and grabbed Cassie, she said, and started to assault her when suddenly one of Prince's security guards ran over there and had to pull Diddy off of Cassie, separate them, and that was the end of the violence for that particular evening. But I mean, the way she described it on the stand, it really sounded like a movie playing out, and you could really see, envision what was happening that night in 2010.
Charles, what's your take on this, though? Because we kind of touched on this yesterday, is that this testimony is absolutely ruining and decimating his character as a violent person, as someone sadistic. But when are we going to get to the part where we're talking about this federal case?
Since they talking about Prince, it's kind of funny to me how they got these women's talking about Prince, man. Is it just me or did y'all peep that too? They usually have some fat old ladies up there. What's the lady name? Nancy Grace. They usually have her talk. Why when they talk about Prince, they got these dimes up there all of a sudden? I'm starting to think they trying to find different ways to entertain the masses with this, because I ain't never seen them, never, not one time. Did they fly them in from the Dominican Republic? What? Am I tripping or no, y'all?
It's this RICO issue here. Like, we keep bringing on these people to terrorize his character, but I don't know if it's helping them in the federal case.
One of the counts is, and you know, that particular story I don't think goes toward the RICO count. I think this one is more about Cassie being forced to stay in this relationship, that she was forced to have sexual encounters and that she could not escape. And I think that's what these stories are pointing toward, not so much the RICO.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about, you guys are reporting that reality TV stars Julie and Todd Chrisley are out of prison. They were just pardoned by President Trump after serving 2 years for bank fraud and tax evasion. So what's next for the couple?
What's next is they're going to do what they do best, which is get back in front of cameras. They already have a deal for a reality show, and they got.
Yo, she came out swinging ass. What's that all about? She ready to get back to that motherfucking money.
What they do best, which is get back in front of cameras. They already have a deal for.
She walking like she got a ton of ass. What was she doing in jail? What the hell was she doing in jail? She need to go back in there and get her BBL. Like, God damn it, I forgot my BBL. She walking like she still got that backpack back there. Wait a minute.
What's next is they're going to do what they do best, which is get back in front of cameras. They already have a deal for a reality show.
She moving her arms like she got to move them out the way for all that ass. Yo, I must be tripping tonight. This Henny must be super good, because I'm seeing shit y'all probably don't see, man. She walking like a sex worker. Look at this.
So what's next for the couple?
What's next is they're going to do what they do best, which is get back in front of cameras. They already have a deal for a reality show.
Like, God damn it, I forgot my BBL. Like, I'll be right back. They gotta book her again just so she can get to her cell. She gotta go through the whole process, spread her cheeks, put on the orange jumpsuit, just so she can go back to her cell and get that BBL, man. But that's Negro here, no there. So, the stories about Cassie and Prince got out of hand, and it's not my fault because they reporting stuff. on all these millions of different news networks, and every network they reported, they saying something different. It went from Cassie being at Prince's party and Diddy showed up and Prince put hands on Diddy because he was about to put hands on Cassie. Then they said Cassie ran out the house and ran in the bushes, and Diddy snatched her ass out the bushes from across the street. And Prince's security. It's all over the place with this, man. Diddy allegedly attacked Cassie on Prince's front lawn. Didn't they just say she ran across the street and hid in the bushes? Security had to step in. Come on now. Now, I don't know what to report on this stuff. The story changes every day. You know, it's shock value. That's what they're trying to put out there. And I hate that it went down like this for this stream, man. Yo, I'm going to give y'all a little more news. If we get a phone call, I'll kick it for a little bit. But I just want to share a few more things with y'all. Then we're going to have to roll. Let's get on to this, man. Y'all ready? Y'all listening? Because this information I'm about to share with y'all right now, y'all need to hear this. Because when I heard it, I couldn't even believe it. Look at this, y'all.
Gripping and emotional testimony from a former personal assistant to Sean Diddy Combs, who wept as she told jurors that her boss repeatedly sexually assaulted and raped her. Testifying under the pseudonym Mia to protect her anonymity, she recounted an incident at his Beverly Hills home when he entered a bedroom where she was sleeping and began having sex with her. Through tears, saying, quote, "He told me to be quiet. He put himself inside of me. I just froze."
Wait, no. No. Wait. They taking it too far, dog. They taking it too far. Wait, hold up. No. She talking about Diddy ran up in her and she stayed employed with him after that. So even though he was banging Cassie, he was banging her too, and that was his private assistant, his personal assistant. They taking it too far, dog. You wait to tell this story when you get in the courtroom in front of a grand jury. There was no allegations beforehand. She using a pseudonym. They using low blow tactics. They don't even know who she is for real. Can anybody even testify to her working for Diddy? I didn't know he had a white lady working for him with blonde hair. And I ain't saying she lying, but damn. They trying to find something to incriminate this man. Since they about to take it this route, they need to talk about them tunnels and all that weird shit they've been saying in the blogs all these years. Was Prince involved with Diddy on a personal level? Is that what they trying to get around to? Will they revisit Prince and what him and Diddy had going on? Because there's stories that they used to party. Prince invited a whole lot of people to his house. That wouldn't be the first time Cassie and Diddy went. Why didn't Diddy want Cassie at Prince's party without him? What they had going on? Did he invite Prince to freak off with Cassie? Did he use her as bait? We're going to have to figure this out. Because if Kid Cudi involved, then he's zesty and he like to put on dresses, lipstick and eyeliner and take his ass up to Saturday Night Live. And Cassie just so happened to be in the bed with him. Was Diddy in the bed with him too?
Oh my goodness.
Is it a weird sex triangle? And I ain't trying to be speaking on Prince because he no longer alive, but we talking about Diddy.
Oh my goodness.
Anything is possible, man. We just don't know how deep the rabbit hole goes. He been with princes. And he also been with Prince. Oh my goodness. Y'all hit that Cash App, man. $ Sean Blaze Docs. I would greatly appreciate it. Without further ado, we got to get back into this news, baby.
Another time, she said Combs forced her to perform oral sex. When asked why she never reported the sexual assaults, she testified, "I was going to die with this. I didn't want anyone to know, ever," calling the assaults the most traumatizing experiences of her life.
Like, Diddy, I took care of the fax machine. I did your laundry, by the way. And, oh, here's the coupons for Subway. What else was there? Yes. I cash all of the checks. They're in your account. You don't have to worry. The car cleaning guy is almost here. Everything's good and tidied up. All right, I'm done for the day. See you later. No, wait a minute. Come in. Yo, I need you to work this out for me right here. You see that right there, Cassie? She sleep. Can you handle this for me? My personal assistant. I need you to assist me with this. You think you could do that for me? Like, yeah. No, it's unprofessional, but, I need you to be a professional while you being unprofessional. And this ain't no laughing matter. But come on, man. You work for somebody and they cross that line. I don't know how people deal with stuff like that. I ain't never been in that situation, man. There's women out there that go through all different types of craziness. I heard stories, so I can't say she's sitting up there lying. This weirdo probably did whip it out on her. Plus, he be on drugs. They showed the drugs, pink cocaine, ecstasy. He might be that type of freak. I ain't gonna say she lying. But, to be with somebody for years and they doing that, you had to want to do it, or it takes two to tango. It really does, man. People know who to try and who not to try. He wouldn't try no shit like that with Angie Stone. She would have beat his ass and he know it. Angie Stone would have threw him out the house like Uncle Phil did Jazz on the Fresh Prince. People know who to try that shit with, man. You giving off whole vibes, skank vibes. People could feel it. People can see it. If you're not that type of girl, you ain't got to worry about that type of shit. But then again, he ain't had no sisters working for him like that. She would have been like, Diddy. Like, boy, pull up your pants. Like, nigga, pull up. She would have balled up her fist, nigga, pull up your pants. Like, oh, my bad, Tanya. I was just trying to say, what you trying to do? We're trying to go home. I'm tired, nigga. Pull up your pants. A week later, he be calling her phone. You ain't been showing up to work. I found another job. Hey, man, let's stay with it, or else they gonna get that money up front. He pulled out his pants. They be looking at his hands like, what, nigga, where the money at? If you gonna pull a move like that, you better lay the briefcase on the bed first. She look at you, look at that money. The whole time she giving you what you want, she gonna have an attitude about it. That shit gonna last 3 minutes. Like, okay, nigga, give me the money, I'm gone. Like, wait a minute, I ain't finished, but I am. I'm gone. Gotta put the money on the dresser first. She come in the room like, who money is this? You got that shit in the envelope with her name on it. Like, who, this mine? Like, yeah, it's yours if you want it to be yours. Like, Keisha, what y'all in there doing? Ooh, nothing. I guess with her ass. Man, in real life, she would have ran to call the police so fast. Like, yo, Amber, I want you to do me a favor. He called her by her last name. Miss Wachowski, I want you to handle this business for me. Like, as if. She would have ran out of there so clueless. I don't know, man. This ain't no laughing matter. But why y'all want to wait? She talking about she was going to take it to her grave. And got in the courtroom and told the world. Make that make sense. I was going to take it to my grave. Oh, Lord, take me now. She lying on God. She going to get in the grave. That shit ain't going to be nowhere in there. But that's Negro in or there, man. I don't know what to believe about this. I heard the story about Prince. And Prince a wild boy. He could hoop. I figured he beat Diddy's ass. But they switched it up. As soon as I gave it to y'all, that's when they switched it up. I heard one thing. I can't even find it now. They be scrubbing the internet and stuff. But since we here, we might as well see what else happened on the trial. You know what I'm saying? Persecutors hope to get through Mia's testimony by tomorrow. Man, I hope they tell her ass to stay home. The prosecutor said they like to get Mia off the stand by the end of tomorrow so she doesn't have to come back next week. Like, bitch, we don't never want to see you again. Like, we will all like it if you never came back. We're going to get you out the way so you go on about your miserable ass life. And we act like we ain't never heard your BS testimony. They whited her face out. You know what? That's fucked up. They smeared her face. They depicted all of them looking miserable and sick, but they got her whited out. What was the point in even putting her? Her shit ain't credible. Ain't nobody mentioned none of this stuff. She piggybacking off of what everybody else said. I'm over it, man. I am over it. Look at this, y'all.
Monitoring testimony in federal New York City. We are monitoring testimony in federal court in Sean Diddy Combs' sex trafficking trial. On the stand now is a woman who's going by the name Mia. And we have a live update from our own Scripps News reporter, Alex Miller, who has been inside of that courtroom and courthouse and now outside. Alex, it's good to see you. Thank you for joining us. Tell me what the key moments are. What is Mia saying on the stand?
Well, Mia is on the stand. She's been on the stand since late morning, and she's likely to be on the stand through Friday. Prosecutors are utilizing her in part to prop up their argument that Sean Combs essentially abused his employees. And though she was only his personal assistant for about a year, she described it as chaotic and toxic. She said the highs were really high and the lows were incredibly low, and it was an incredibly high-pressure work environment. In fact, she was rarely home. Her friends called her a ghost because she was always with Sean Combs. She worked 24 hours straight her first day on the job. She thought maybe that this was a bit of a test, but it turns out that that was a regular occurrence. One time she worked 5 days straight without sleep. She said she had to utilize Adderall in order to be able to do so. She said Combs really was in charge of her life. When she stayed with him at his house, she was not allowed to lock her bed.
What type of work you doing at 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning? The next morning, what type of paperwork they had her doing to where she couldn't get no sleep? She up all night. I know he was asleep. When they sleep, she up working. Doing what? Attending different freak-off parties or whatever. That's the only thing I could think of. What's going to keep somebody up for a week straight? Like when she got there, he ain't had no paperwork done. It was a pigsty in there. She moved in, the first day she moved in with Puff and had to clean all that shit up. Changing baby diapers and everything. She out there mowing the lawn. She done climbed the pole. Done hooked up somebody else's cable to his house. Working for a week straight. Man, they be saying anything when they get up there.
Bedroom door, and that goes to one of her allegations. She has alleged on the stand that Sean Combs sexually assaulted her on more than one occasion. She also said he physically abused her by throwing things at her. She said he once threw her in a pool, dumped a bucket of ice on her, and that was a regular part of her day.
Like, bitch, you won a championship. You seen your paycheck? $25,000 a week. You ain't never had no money like that. They dumped the water cooler over her head. Like, nigga, we made it. That's right. You down with the bad boy team now. You know, we win a championship every week. Did you get your paycheck? Like, yes, I did. She ain't go nowhere. That money had to be good to stick around for that. And people feel like that at their jobs. That's why I asked the question on here, man. Are you happy about your living situation? I would love to know. Because some people going through it and y'all ain't got nobody to talk to. It make you want to holler. I'm trying to give y'all an outlet before y'all do something stupid. Ain't nobody calling, so if you want to be miserable and keep it all bottled up inside, when your ass snap, think back to this video when you sitting over there looking goofy, waiting for me to say something about Prince beating on Diddy, and your ass stressed out. You don't know what's going on for real. You stuck in a situation. You don't know if you're going to have a job. You don't know what's going on. You waiting for them people at Subway to call you back so you can go up there. You living with your auntie, and you ain't never liked them, and your ass just stuck. Make me want to holler. Are you happy about your living situation? Because in order for them to deal with this stuff that they saying they was dealing with, man, that money had to be good. I know it's people out there that be fighting mad at work, but when they get that check, it make all that shit go away. You be on the verge of quitting. You get that check, you be like, that's what I'm talking about, baby. And do it all over again. But on Friday, that's when you gonna turn up, or whenever your day is off. So for this woman, talking about he put ice over her head, threw her in the pool, shit. She around people that got swimming pools. A lot of y'all ain't got that. The only way you gonna get thrown in the pool is at the apartment complex. People ain't grateful, man. And there's people out here suffering and doing bad. But that's Negro here, no there. Let's get back into this.
Day-to-day life as his employee, at least as his personal assistant. She later worked for him in a different capacity, but she's also one of Cassie Ventura's very best friends, was and still is. And she was able to testify to the amount of control that Diddy had over Cassie as well, saying that Mia was to text Diddy photos of the hair, nails, clothing that Cassie wanted to wear, and that Diddy had to approve it before she was able to do so. That he had control over their friendship, that she wasn't allowed to do anything with Cassie, leave his house without the approval. And if
was she in a sexual relationship with Diddy or no? Because that's the only way you're going to have that much power and control over somebody. If you one of his mistresses and you obsessed. Was it a platonic relationship? And with her allegations, it really wasn't. It was both his playthings, because that's the way they behaved. They acting like he had ownership over them or something. Like that was their man. They was treating him like he was daddy. They was living in daddy's house. And if you want to be with Puff Daddy, you know who the man is. She said in the courtroom, Cass and I debated like little kids if we should sneak out of the house for probably what felt like forever. She was fucking Diddy, man. And that's the end of the story. They were sister wives. And the other assistant was too. Because there's men out there that have women on their staff. And you think everything legit until they closing up. And they think about getting that raise or they trying to get some more hours. That's when they come flirt with Big Daddy. In the office. You see it at every restaurant. I don't give a fuck if it's Applebee's, Red Lobster. Them waiters, them hostesses, you be wondering where your food at. She in the office with the manager. He pulled her to the side, want to have a little chit chat. You go in there, he playing with her panty line with the Yin Yang twins playing in the background. It goes down, man. At every Subway, them dudes that own them Dunkin' Donuts, they dunking more than donuts, man. They got a whole staff and they be taking turns. If you the man with the money, you getting all the honey. That's how that go, man. I'm pretty sure Diddy had her along with all the rest of them. Now they want to cry wolf and try to make it seem like he took advantage of them. But the truth is, if somebody got that much power over you and got you acting like a child and they not your father, you giving him special kisses. Period, man.
Oh my goodness.
That's how I feel about it. Maybe y'all feel different about it. Let me know in the comment section, man. All right, here we go. Go back to this.
he didn't approve, there was a punishment, not only physical abuse, but he'd take away her car, take away certain jewelry, things of that nature as well. She said that the punishment essentially was typically unpredictable, but typically pretty terrifying. And then lastly, just before lunch, she described that scene that we heard Cassie describe and Deontay Nash when Cassie was beat up in her bedroom by Diddy in front of both Nash and Mia to the point where she was bleeding from her head. She described that situation as incredibly terrifying, saying that she tried to get Diddy to stop, but he wouldn't. She says his eyes turned black and that he was essentially looking right through her. She says those are the moments where she really knew that not only Cassie was in incredible danger, but that he was as well, that she was as well.
Alex, you are just sharing these harrowing details, and though we don't have those cameras, we can imagine what it's like inside of that courtroom with Mia on the stand. This was slated to be an 8-week trial, so it would end sometime in July. We're hearing that it may be sooner that things are wrapping up. What are you hearing there on the ground?
Yeah, we are hearing that it might wrap up sooner. They are trying to keep things incredibly on schedule or ahead of schedule, despite the fact that we didn't have court on Friday or Monday because of the Memorial Day holiday. We are now hearing that they might be able to wrap up the prosecution's case within the first 2 weeks of June. The trial was initially slated to go until just before the 4th of July holiday, but if they are to be able to wrap up within the first 2 weeks of June, we're expecting the defense to take about a week or so. So it looks like they could be a week or two ahead of schedule.
I just got paid $60,000 for my
Yo, that's how you know it's some bullshit. They trying to rush the trial. They trying to get it over with. If this was about justice, they wouldn't be putting no time limit on the shit. Whatever it takes to bring justice to a situation, you can't put a time limit on giving somebody life. You gotta do whatever it takes to prove that this person is guilty or innocent. We trying to rush this thing along before the holidays. It's a month. The whole trial is a damn money grab. They trying to rake. They try to rake in as much dough as they possibly can before they all go running to the bank laughing. Like, all right, this Diddy season is almost over. The last leave is going to dry. We're going to rake this shit up, get our coins and move on with our lives. And whatever happens to them, fuck them. Because they know it's only so long they can continue with this shit show. They fumbling. It's like watching the New York Knicks play. Like, if y'all just don't bow out gracefully and cut this bullshit out, we know y'all ain't got what it takes to win. I don't even know how the Knicks made it to the conference finals. They giving people hope. They ain't like, what's about to happen with them damn Knicks. But they just dragging it through, Like, just get out the way so we can get on to some other shit. But it is what it is. Rest in peace to Prince. Did I say that yet? I would love to talk about Prince for a little bit, since he on the screen. There's a bunch of people infatuated with Prince still. There's women all across the world. They would die for this man. I will die for you, yeah. And they be singing that shit back like, tell me if you want me to. And they be dead serious with sweat pouring down their face. I think women like sex. Oh, no Diddy. I think women like zesty men. I was about to say sexy men. Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
That's what I get for talking about Prince in the first place. Got me moaning and shit. I need to hurry up and end this stream. Women like sex. Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
Damn. Women like zesty men. The zestier, the better. That's why the zesty men have all the homegirls. They have bad bitches for their homegirls, too. Remember this? Hold on, let me pull this up real quick. Because y'all gonna feel me on this before the end of the night. Look at this.
Tonight, gripping and emotional testimony from a former
I'm trying to be professional. Okay, y'all gotta see this. Remember this? Look. Hold on. Let me get this together. Look. No, we ain't doing that. Get that nigga out of here. Where that video at? Yeah, this it right here. Look.
And she's super humble and she's smart. She's very smart and she gets business. And y'all can learn a thing or two from her.
He got another man's wife on his lap playing zesty. A lot of brothers hip to the game, man. Hip to the game. They put on that zest. They be actors. They know that's what the women want. I'm your mother and your sister too. I want to be your lover. That nigga Prince said, if I was your girlfriend, he know how to get a bad bitch. If I was your girlfriend. Women be like, I like girls. Yeah, I like you. Oh shit, I get the best of both worlds. He'll ballet your ass. If I was your girlfriend. Like, sound good to me, because I can't stand niggas. Man, a lot of men picked up on that Prince mentality and can't miss with the ladies. Shit, Diddy was zesty and he got all the chicks. Cassie was with it. Have a whole nother man come over there, a nigga named The Punisher. She still freak off for Diddy. He in the cut whacking off with that Prince playing. Him and Cassie giggling, finding male escorts. He on the bed with his feet up. Talking about, ooh, what about this one? What about that one? Ooh, call him, Cassie. Call him. Call him. Like, don't worry, Diddy. I'm going to call him on three-way. Hey, it is what it is, man. Women like zesty men. And that's all right. Zesty men know how to dress. Motherfuckers stay lined up. Women love a neat man. Yo, I go places. What was it the other day? I went to get some cologne. I told the lady, I said, look, I want something that smells masculine. Usually, I go to Neiman Marcus to get the cologne, but I was like, you know what, let me go to Dillard's. I told the girl, I said, look, I want something masculine. She said, okay, I know something masculine, but it's a little sweet. I said, I want something masculine. She said, yeah, it's masculine, but it's a little sweet. So I'm like, damn, man. She don't want it. And like her recommendation was that it's masculine, but women like it sweet. Let me show y'all what she pulled up. She put 5 bottles out and had me test them. Let me show y'all what it was. It was this one. That was the one. And the whole point of me telling y'all this is that if it ain't got a little zest, then it ain't gonna work for you, man. It's amazing, by the way. I don't plan on using it. I wanted the bottle for the display or whatever the case was. But that's Negro here nor there, man. I completely forgot what I was about to say. Let's move on. Hey, for you men out there, let me know what's in your collection. But honestly, in the times we living in now, with the Diddy trial and everything going on, this is going to leave a stain. It's going to leave a scar on society to where men going to have to decide on what you want. You know, and that's the problem with most men out there. A lot of men don't know exactly what they want. They want to try a little everything. They just want to wait for something to hit, wait for some booty to hit them in the face. They don't care where it come from, how it come. They ain't really put too much thought into it. Men just want to get it. But you got to come to terms with how you want to get it and how you want it to be, man. Because you can get it, but the way you get it can fuck up your life. He should have been more specific about what he wanted from Cassie. He should have cut all that bullshit out about her being on his record label and her being his artist and giving her all these titles and just said, hey, let the world know that this is my busted baby. Like, this is what it is, Cassie. You're not my girl. I don't love you. You just strictly for the freak off. And I spoil you and keep you nice like a good hoe. And let the world know, Cassie is not my girlfriend, my lover, or my fiance. She is my hoe. And he wouldn't be in this situation right now. But that nice guy shit is what got him in trouble. And he was still trying to be a nice guy even after they broke up. Reaching out to her, checking up on her. How's everything going, Cass? He's sending her text messages. She done moved on and got married. He's still trying to be a nice guy when all he really was interested in was freaking her off. It's time to keep it real, fellas. However you want it, that's what you need to claim. If you embarrassed, if you like something and you ashamed of it, you either got to figure out how not to be ashamed of it so you can live your life, or find something else to like. You got to be comfortable with yourself, man. If Diddy liked hiring male escorts, he shouldn't have had to put a cover over his face so the men wouldn't see who he was. There shouldn't have been no shame in his game. And he should have let the whole world know what he was into. And I'm at a crossroads right now in my life, man. Now that I'm getting older, I really don't know what it is. I'm into myself right now. I can't tell you what type I'm interested in. I'm my type. I couldn't tell you what I'm looking for, man. I'm soul searching. I'm trying to find me. Feel me? I don't really got no type like that. I'm not really interested in nobody like that. And the reason why I got this is for me. I ain't trying to smell good for nobody but me, man. And I noticed something. And y'all want to know the real reason? Well, one of the real reasons why I've been heavy on fragrances is because I read somewhere that fragrances can bring memories or bring back memories and stuff. I had went and smelled like an old oil that I had from back in the day. When I smelled the oil, it took me back to 2010. It's like I was there all over again, man. So I said, with this fragrance, I'm going to use this for this chapter in my life. So I'll always remember this phase in my life. You know what I'm saying? And I got a bunch of other ones that I don't plan on using into the future. So I can retrace and because sometimes you get lost, man. People lose themselves every day. A lot of y'all lost yourselves a long time ago and don't got no way to get back to yourself. Like, you not just, it's a lot of people out there, you not even yourself. You somebody else, and you don't even like the person you become. And there's no way you can get back. I've discovered that through fragrance, you can retrace your steps. If it was something that you used to wear and you don't wear it no more, a deodorant, a soap, or whatever the case is, and you trying to get back on track. See, I got a trail now. I ain't never gonna get lost in the sauce. But that's a little jewel I figure I'd drop. Enough of dropping them jewels, man. We gotta get back to some goofy, some Diddy shit. Cause that's what's going on in the news. What else they talked about on this damn trial? They went to lunch. Persecutors hope to get through this. We read that part. What else happened? Sean Diddy Combs faces a racketeering conspiracy charge. Is what that mean? Okay, well, let's get an understanding of what the hell that mean. Sean Diddy Combs has pleaded not guilty to charges of racketeering, conspiracy, sex trafficking, and transportation to engage in prostitution. If convicted on all counts, he could face up to life in prison. The federal government has used racketeering to go after a dozen college athletic figures and test administrators in the largest college administration scandal ever persecuted former President Trump and musicians like R. Kelly and Young Thug. So this is an entertainment thing that they doing. The real weirdos is out there in society, y'all. The real weirdos is not in front of a camera. The real weirdos go undetected for years. And when people find out about it, it's too late. They 100 and something years old. They'll be happy to go to jail. Social Security gone. Can't afford no nurse. They'd be better off in jail. They do some silly shit to get caught so they can go to jail. But as far as athletes and entertainers and shit, you always gonna have a bullseye on your back. It's one thing to have money, but it's another thing when everybody know you got money. That's what make you a damn target. Because there's plenty of people out there got a big bag and they low key and they don't want nobody to know they got money because they know that's what's going to make them a target. Like them dudes with them Wranglers and them damn trucker hats and shit, shoes leaning all to the side. They be looking all broken, dusty. They do that on purpose. Because they would like it better if you thought that they ain't had no money so you could leave them the fuck alone. Shit get crazy out there, man. I feel like people with money, like Diddy said, more money, more problems. I think people that got a whole lot of money attract a whole lot of demons into their life. You could be a holy roller if you broke. Especially if you humble and you ain't got it like that. People gonna look out for you because they know you ain't worth shit. And plus people like people that's beneath them because it make them feel better about themselves. Which is unfortunate. And that's why people got to be careful about the company they keep, especially family. For you ladies out there, I notice A lot of times the reason why your life be messed up is because of your mom, man.
Oh my goodness.
Your mama is the reason why you ain't got nobody. Your mama, the reason why you a single mother. Your mama, the reason why you can't keep a man. Your mama is the reason why you miserable. Your mother is the reason why you got so many motherfucking issues.
Oh my goodness.
It's your mama. Think about it. Ever since you was a child, man. Hold on, yo. Yo, hello. Who this is, man?
Hello, this is LaShawn calling from the Bronx.
Oh, that's what it is. We so glad you on the phone. What's on your mind tonight?
Hi, I'm sorry my throat is a little raspy. I'm not feeling too good, but on your topic, no, I'm not happy about my living wage situation. I just got laid off 2 weeks ago, but I'm okay. I'm okay. Your show is keeping me very happy.
I'm so
I just
glad.
wanted to yeah, and thanks for reaching out for the people like you said, looking crazy, home looking crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. So I'm reaching out for you reaching out. Okay, I just wanted to say this about Diddy.
Mm-hmm.
In the day, I think him trying to control the rap industry, who get in, who got out. You know, Jay-Z had Beyonce, had the chick in the game wearing my chain. Then Kanye had Kimmy Cakes, the billionaire. Mariah Carey, he like Mariah Carey. Nick Cannon sold that up. He didn't have nobody. He looked around, holding the game down and make sure his people had the top women, and there was nobody. He had J Lo. Remember, he was dating J Lo early on until the pow pow at the club, and then I guess J Lo said, "Oh no, papi, no." So then he lost J Lo and probably went back to business, and now trying to make Cassie like Aaliyah, but she's just not as talented as Aaliyah.
Yo, that's real, man. And I blame Diddy for J-Lo losing the booty because we ain't know he had a Tootsie Roll. And you figured J-Lo was super thick before she got with Diddy, but he couldn't handle that. So she started with the Ozempic back in the day, lost all the butt, and she still ain't got no ass. And she with Ben Affleck because of what Diddy did to her body. Cassie ain't working with nothing. And I was like, why would Diddy want to be with some chick that ain't got no ass? That's because he can't handle no ass.
He's square. Like he seems something like maybe he could turn, but Aaliyah was very talented. As we agreed the other day, he doesn't have nothing to work with this girl. For the look, the face card, but come on. It's just he had nobody else. Once he turned around, 25 years later, Jay-Z got Beyonce, Kanye got Kim, Nick Cannon got Mariah. I always thought him and Mary J, I guess Biggie had Little Kim.
Mm-hmm. And Faith.
And Faith. Had everybody wanted Little Kim, but Biggie had her. His arm always hugging her up. So Puffy was like, let me move this way.
No doubt. And he ended up with Young Miami at the end of the day. I wonder how that made him feel. Like you said, they got all the top chicks in the game, and when it was all said and done, he ended up with Young Miami.
And then that's when he became happy again. Like he started smiling, he was happy. That's when he was smiling. And my Young Miami stayed. And she, she stayed. But she's an entertainer. She was entertaining. Like I think she was in the studio working. This girl Cassie was like, whatever, all right, was blah blah blah. Okay, allow her to freak off and I want some because as they say, he had a Tootsie Roll. Mm-hmm. So sometimes she wanted something. It's just it's just bad. Once he turned around, he ain't have nobody.
Some women could put that puppy dog shit on you real good and you ain't got no choice but to give in. But if you got a certain type of face, if you ain't pretty like Cassie, it's going to be hard to put that puppy dog shit on somebody to make them, do whatever you want to do. You could just lay around like a fancy poodle and don't gotta really work, just freak off and stuff. Because if Mary J. Blige tried to soften up to Diddy and whine and cry to get him to do something, he would have told her ass to get a job.
He's always telling her no. She dances like him. They dance alike. Mary does everything. She does everything, but she never. I guess he just never had felt like her in that way. Never
Too
gave her that
rugged.
money.
Too rough.
She stays living in Jersey. She don't want to go to the Hamptons, and she's one of his top artists. She's still working. She's working on shows up to this day. Dancing to, then once he turned around, all the top, there's nobody live.
So
And that's
true.
what turned to this.
That's so true, man. I ain't even think about it like that till you said it. And who really want to be with Mary J? She got a song called PMS. And it's very disturbing, man. She said, I want to talk to the ladies tonight about a situation I'm pretty sure y'all be able to relate to. Trust me. She said, today I'm not feeling pretty. I see I'm feeling quite ugly. Having one of those days when I can't make up my mind. So don't even look at me. So I don't want to hear your problems because I'm having some of my own. I know it's not your fault that I'm feeling down. Like, God, this shit is depressing, man.
Wow.
She said, my lower back is aching. My clothes don't fit. Oh, shit.
Why would somebody make a
Now, ain't that a bitch? Yes, it is. Yeah. Got an attitude, and I ain't talking to you. Only if the shoe fits, yeah. I don't care what you think about me. No, no, no. I don't need you crowding around me. Now, don't need your sympathy. I don't need it. Oh, I don't need a PMS.
Got it. Only the shoe fits. Only the shoe fits.
Can't wife nobody.
I don't
They
believe
couldn't wife her up. Not like that.
I know. They're all in their 50s now, late 50s. So I'm saying from back in the days, I guess why he didn't, just made her the top one in the game.
This was back in the day. This came out in 2001.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
I
man.
don't. Oh man! Wow. Oh my goodness. It's just
Yeah, man. It's crazy.
Yeah. Cassie's body is not all of that. Miami body was more up, plump, juicy. When she
What
told
about
that
you?
me,
Yeah.
I can send a picture. I'm fair. I don't have any pictures out there like that. But like I said, I'm home now. I may take some. I don't know.
So what you gonna do for work? Like you trying to find a sugar daddy? Like what's going on?
Well, I'm in shock. I'm still going through. You lay down like when I see the title. Are you happy about your living? So I was like, wait, and then you make the statement like you better call in if you want to sit there lonely. So I some Kentucky Fried Chicken, and I was like, you know what? My voice is raspy for sleeping, and I said I'm gonna call in. I'm gonna call in and I don't know. I'm just, no kids home. No, I don't have any kids. So
Did you like before this happened to you? Did you think it was gonna happen to you?
Yes, because it was a couple of times I had to go down to HR before it was coming. So I was working in a shelter. So I tell you that for 2 years over here in the Bronx. I loved it. I did the night shift. I loved it, 4 to 12.
I remember you called in and mentioned that you worked in a shelter.
Yes. Well, I lost the job.
Oh no.
Yeah. So
You gotta
when
find a silver lining in all of this.
Yes, and your show brings me a lot of laughter, a lot of comfort. I've been watching it in the afternoon. I called in the afternoon. I'm just one day at a time right now.
We
But
hope you don't have to go to the shelter that you was working at.
I know. I'm praying on that. I mean, I have a cash app maybe, but I do, but I'm praying on that. I had just got cash app and zero, but it is what it is, and I just appreciate your show so much. I've been watching this for over a year, and I'm not a speaker, so I just got the courage up to start calling in.
That's what's up, man. And I'm glad you called in because we got to figure out a resolution for this, man. What's always been your passion in life? What is something that you're very passionate about?
Well, at the moment, like I said, I've always been working. And, I've been a worker. I don't have no sisters, no brothers, an only child. I have one son. He's 36. He has kids of his own. So, this is like my new beginning. I plan on, retiring after this job. I said I'd do 4 more years at the shelter. But, unfortunately, it didn't go that way. I wouldn't mind being a secretary for a big YouTuber. I'm very handy.
We need to make that happen, man.
Sorry?
Because I got Tasha K personal contact, man. We're going to have to make that happen for you. And you know what? It's all a stepping stone for you. There's things happen for a reason. I believe you're going to bounce back better than ever.
That's my dream. I don't want to fail in my son's eyes. I'm so, I just try, and then I just work from the shelter. I worked at Presbyterian Hospital in Arbonne Payne, the coffee shop, and, never the right big one,
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just in my head, until I wake up and I turn on you and things that make me happy during my day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man, especially during this season too, it's all about a new harvest and everything. So you got to stay in the perspective to where, this time next year, where you want to be.
Yeah.
What would you like to have? And so, because everybody going, and that's another thing too. It's always somebody that got it worse, and everybody going through it. That's why I made this topic, because there's people in living situations. You lost your job and everything, but how do you feel about your home life? How do you feel being at home? Is there comfort there? Can you find a peace of mind at home? Like, what's that all about?
Well, I don't. I do live alone. That is peace. Like I said, my son, he doesn't live with me. He is 36. So at home, it's just me. So I'm pretty comfortable. I have a studio apartment. So it's just really big enough for me. I lived here over 4 years. So I'm comfortable, for now.
Mm-hmm.
But losing my rent is still very high from, me working. So I go to sleep. I'm worried about that, of course, the rent. But what can I do? I just,
disability, not disability. I meant what they call it, workers' comp, not workers' comp. What is it when you lose your job? You can get unemployment.
Yeah. So you have to wait 3 weeks or so, I think, before that kicks in. So I'm just chilling out, trying to stay, positive. And like you said, thinking, but what's my next chapter? I would love being an assistant for a good YouTuber, getting the snacks, getting the coffee, like you said, the subways, because I always like entertainment. I'm always was a big fan of that. Growing up, being, like Eddie Murphy, watching those, I've always been into that. And my certain jobs I had, I met 50 Cent at the airport. I met a lot of celebrities during my lifetime working in restaurants and, Presbyterian over here in New York is like the number one. I met a lot of famous people. And I'd be like, why am I meeting these people? And I'm, not there just a worker, but,
Yo, we gonna figure it out together, man, because now is the time for you to really put that brainstorm and to practice, because I'm pretty sure the answers is right there in front of you. You just gotta take a little time out to sort things out. So we gotta get that unemployment popping, and you gotta make sure to make this summer the best summer you had in a long time. And so you gotta take time for yourself. And sort everything out. And that's what we're going to do, man. We got to keep in touch, keep having these conversations, because there's somebody out there listening to you and they going through it as well. And now they see that you going through it, and we all going through it one way or another. And now we unified, and we going to figure it out together as a team, man. So you got my contact. You could always call, text, whatever. You see me live, you could hit me up, because I want to stay in touch to make sure that everything working out for you. We keeping you in our prayers and all that stuff.
Oh my God, this has made my night. And I said, you know what? I can answer this subject he put up. I said I can answer this because I said I'm gonna do it. I'm scared, but I'm gonna put it out there. I'm gonna answer this question. Excuse me. And I remember the last call. We were talking about certain good things, and it ended well. I think we got cut off at the end because that was the first time I ever called. But this is amazing. I said, you know what? And then you said, oh, you want to sit home? And, all right, I sit home and don't want to answer. And I was like, wait, let me put this chicken down.
See, that's why See, you took the initiative, man. That's what it's all about. See, when you see the calling and the opportunity, that's how I know you're gonna make it out this situation, because you answered the call. And when life presents the same way I presented you with the opportunity to speak on the situation, now you're gonna have the opportunity to fix the situation. That's what it's all about. Give and take, man. I'm glad we worked this out together, because after you called in, now you got nothing but blessings coming your way, because you're going to have another opportunity in the form of some big money, man. And I need you to call and let me know when it all go down, because it's going to be going down soon, man. We appreciate you.
I appreciate you too, Blaze.
No doubt. We love you to death. And don't forget to stay in touch neither. Word up. Yo, we going to holler at you on the next call, beautiful. You be good out there. No doubt, man. She going to be blessed. And y'all believe that, man. So glad she called in so we could have that conversation. Now, for the people out there listening, and you going through it real bad, and your living situation is fucked up, and you ain't trying to call and get your blessing, that's on you. We gonna move on and get back into Prince allegedly putting hands on Diddy, or Prince's security guards putting hands on Diddy because he was putting hands on Cassie. If I don't never have to hear Cassie's name ever again after this trial, I'll be so happy. So motherfucking happy. They just let Diddy go home, and he don't never put Beijing in his hair ever again and just live the rest of his life as a whole man. That will make the world a better place. If he go to jail, they letting us know what time it is. It's not safe for brothers nowhere. Not even if you got $1 billion. If your ass is black, you a target. That's all they proving. He made legitimate money. Hip hop, get up, make you dance and shake your ass type of money. Sean John sold at Macy's, Dillard's, J.C. Penney type of money. Cologne, liquor in a liquor store type of money. Go to the club, they was ordering bottles of Ciroc type of money. DeLeon, Revolt, legitimate TV, news type of money. And they still caught his ass with some sex. Because he get horny like we all do. And he like what he like. Like I told y'all, I'm at a crossroads in my life, man. I just can't call it. I done got to the part of oldness to where I'm just not excited no more. I'm living with my memories. Sweet memories, man. That's what's helping me get through it. I mean, shit. I already know I've been there, done that. So I'm happy with myself. And you figure Diddy would have got to that point in his life too, but I guess he was trying to experiment and see if there's something else. I think that's what happened to men. Men be like, okay, they numb to shit, so they want to start experimenting, and that's when shit get weird. If he would have just enjoyed his money and enjoyed his memories, he wouldn't have needed Cassie. But, you got to keep on moving. You got to keep on pushing. You got to keep on living. What you going to do? get old, go to a nursing home, put on some overalls, and live like Fred Sanford. He wasn't trying to go that route. And I'm realizing that's why a lot of men date younger because they trying to keep that youth going. And it's a necessity to keep your youth going. Just because you getting old don't mean you have to be an old, withered away old man. But if you got you a good woman on your arm, why not? I started wearing them scally caps and shit. The youngest nigga you ever seen with a scally cap. Look at this. This chick was like, ain't you a little too young to be wearing them hats? Said, yeah, but the shit make me feel right at home. Now you know your ass matured when you start rocking one of these shits. Fuck she doing with a skip? Men can't have nothing to ourselves. What the fuck they doing with these hats, man? Get that shit off your head. Oh, he ain't got no business with this shit on. But that's Negro here, no there. Okay, let's get back into this trial for a little bit. I'm going to kick it for like 5 minutes. If we get a call, I'll kick it a little longer. If not, we going to keep it pushing. And I appreciate y'all. I want to thank y'all so much for tuning in. Let's get back into this news, man.
New York City.
Friday or Monday because of the Memorial Day holiday. We are now.
We can imagine what it's like inside of that courtroom with Mia on the stand. This was slated to be an 8-week trial, so it would end sometime in July. We're hearing that it may be sooner that things are wrapping up. What are you hearing there on the ground?
Yeah, we are hearing that it might wrap up sooner. They are trying to keep things incredibly on schedule or ahead of schedule, despite the fact that we didn't have court on Friday or Monday because of the Memorial Day holiday. We are now hearing that they might be able to wrap up the prosecution's case within the first 2 weeks of June. The trial was initially slated to go until just before the 4th of July holiday, but if they are to be able to wrap up within the first 2 weeks of June, we're expecting the defense to take about a week or so. So it looks like they could be a week or two ahead of schedule.
Miller, thank you for the very latest there in New York City. Let's turn our attention to our guests who are standing by and see what they think about where we are in the Diddy trial. Criminal defense attorney Jessica Lettingham and former deputy public defender for LA County, Philip Dubé. Jessica, let me start with you. We've got Mia on the stand. That's the name that she's going by. She's actually in the indictment in this case. So basically, it's Cassie, Ventura, and Mia who are named. Talk about whether the allegations that you're hearing, whether that equals racketeering and sex trafficking.
Yeah, she has been a witness from the beginning that I have been really wanting to see. I think yesterday was a major turning point for the prosecution. We finally saw some real trafficking evidence when the assistant, the makeup artist, one of Cassie's friends said, yeah, I saw Diddy say that he was making her do this freak off on her 29th birthday. We finally got the forcing. Now with Mia, we will also finally...
Man, shut up. They on that bull. Shit out of here. I can't do this. That's trafficking. Put her ass on the expressway. I'm gonna call the taxi cab and send her to a freak off for her birthday, man. Across state lines, I'm gonna take her from New York to New Jersey to freak off with them niggas and come back home before midnight. She gotta do it. I want them niggas to report. She better report them panties back to me when she get back home. Matter of fact, let me cash out this nigga, pay this nigga so he can freak her off in New Jersey. And she better be home before 12 o'clock. I'm gonna make her go for her birthday. She gonna freak them niggas tonight, yeah. Like, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Now kiss her in the mouth. Matter of fact, pee in her mouth.
Oh my goodness.
Like, pee in her mouth for her birthday. Right there, yeah, there you go. Like, forced her to freak off for her birthday. Pulling panties down. Happy birthday to you. Whatever. That now they're getting into the racketeering and the sex trafficking and all this bullshit. They don't want a brother that had no money. They can't get Jay-Z with no sex trafficking because that's gonna be hard to convince a jury that Jay-Z put one leg up on the chick. I can't see it. I can't even imagine Jay-Z having sex. Can you? I mean, I don't want to imagine it, but I can't even imagine. I don't even think him and Beyonce ever got it in before. Never. I don't even see the chemistry there. I think all they got a surrogate family or whatever. Look, and I've been saying this for years, man. For the people that have been watching me for a long time, I ain't never seen the chemistry. Look how they do. They do fist bumps and shit. Like, yeah, put it there. Like, get this money. Celebrity power couple in the making. They do this shit strictly for the cameras. I'm the hottest MC. Got the baddest chick in the game wearing my chain. Can't even take them seriously. And they got a whole family now. And I still don't believe it. People are put on the front for them cameras. People do it all the time, man. You see them couples on Instagram and TikTok, they be doing all them vines like they in love with each other. They can't stand each other, but they'll keep that front going just to get them views. See if they could get some sponsors or some shit. If you dealing with a chick and she be like, hey, how about we start doing TikTok videos? Then she clearly thinking of ways to use your ass for some money. More ways to use you for money. Like, bitch, I'm already paying your phone bill. I'm buying groceries. I done paid your rent twice. Now you trying to do TikTok videos with it. Hey, the bills ain't gonna pay theyself. Yo, it's this chick. What's her name? Shira7 or something like that. I can't stand her, but she be keeping it real. She was like, the chicks, they be asking her questions. They was like, what if I know a mechanic and he ain't got no money like that? She was like, well, save his ass in your phone as a mechanic and keep it moving. Now you need to find water bill, nigga. Now you need to find a light bill, nigga. Now you need to go out there and find a gas, nigga. And I'm like, you know what? That's fucked up. But she right. If people willing and able, then God damn it, the bills ain't gonna pay their damn self. They don't figure out a way to put their celebrity to use. Hey, if it don't make dollars, it don't make no goddamn sense. What's love, like Tina Turner said, what's love got to do with it, man? That's where Diddy fucked up. He paying people to bang Cassie. He should have been, if he about to go to jail for life, he should have been having people pay him to bang Cassie. They trying to put him in jail for some shit he didn't do. Like, I might as well have been pimping her ass. You goddamn right you should have been pimping her. That'll give you a reason to be in jail. And it ain't right. I don't condone none of that. You know what I'm saying? That's foul. But if you gonna be foul, and shit, be foul. They said she was 16 when she met Jay-Z. She ain't 16 no more, man. She a grown, she auntie status. Y'all need to see this. This where Megan Thee Stallion fucked up. She took all of her swag. It was Megan that was wearing them cowboy boots and the cowboy hats and all that. Beyonce took her swag and came out with a whole country album. Y'all need to look at this real quick. Hold up. It was Megan doing shows with the oh my God, get this woman on. It was Megan with that cowboy shit representing Texas. She was representing Houston the old fashioned way, baby. It was her with them damn cowboy boots on, doing shows, twerking. Beyonce took her whole setup and did a whole album off of her shit. Megan come through with that cowboy hat on. Like, that's right, she represent Houston, H-Town, baby. Now Beyonce on the cover of her album talking about Cowboy Carter and all that. But it is what it is. She should have never, ever. But that's what they do. Like, oh, I love you, Auntie B. Oh, I grew up listening to your music. I love you. Done stole that girl youth. Now Megan she ain't got a leg to stand on. Beyonce took her whole shit and ran to the bank with it. Erykah Badu was complaining about the same thing. But whatever. You know, that's what older people do. If you see an old head hanging around some young people, that's the vampire. And there's plenty of those in the entertainment industry. How long I've been on here? Let me see. Let me double check. Okay, I've been on here long enough. I got so much love for y'all, man. Yo, make sure y'all do me a favor. Hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification button too, baby. And hit that Cash App, $ Sean Blaze Docs. I would greatly appreciate that. Yo, we gonna be back with more news. All you gotta do is stay tuned, baby. Y'all be good out there. I'ma holla at y'all later. Real talk.